There it is.
We on?
Yeah.
Episode 0.1 of Rum Dum.
Hell yeah.
Welcome one and all. The OG savages here.
We can record a video, put it on my damn YouTube.
Fuck yeah. So, this week in history, Starship made it to orbit. It's pretty significant. The biggest rocket humanity's ever made.
When did that
Went
happen?
to orbit. It happened a couple days ago.
I didn't hear about that.
So, I didn't know if you knew that, right? So was everybody else, but yeah, I didn't, Starship is what they call it, the SpaceX.
Oh, it was Elon Musk?
Yeah. They finally got, and it was actually their third attempt.
Really?
And their next attempt, they're going to try to catch it with those big arms. Did you see, have you seen that? Oh, dude, you got to fucking see that. It's crazy, man. What you smoking there, buddy?
I'm smoking a Big Poppy by David Oritz.
Big Poppy.
I think Dad got it for me.
Did you get it at the hot spot?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I like this rum, man.
Yeah, I like it.
I'm starting to, the Kraken's starting to get a little sharp.
Well, one thing I hear from liquor aficionados, a lot of people don't like Kraken because of the artificial flavors. Apparently that gives it some of the harshness.
Yeah.
I don't know about this brand or not. I have no idea.
Well, it's not as harsh. That's for sure. That's for sure.
I need to dig out the tripod and we can record these. Did I show you my YouTube channel?
No, you have one?
Oh, yeah, I got one. It's
What
mainly,
the fuck?
well, there's probably only one video you do because most of it's just like wrestling games. Fucking WWE 2K.
Oh, okay. Do you
But
stream them or not stream them?
No, I just record them. I played the early access demo of this indie game called Goblin America.
Oh.
Right, the first mission's like a tutorial. And it's hard to describe. You'd have to see the video. But you're like Abraham Lincoln, but it's in this weird, distorted reality where everyone's like goblins and the building's like warped.
Mm.
And at first, it opens up and we're like looking at a play. It's first-person shooter.
Yeah.
And you talk to the person next to you and like, hey, don't look yet. But it's like John Wilkes Booth is behind you. I was like, what the fuck? And you start and there's a guy behind you. And yeah, you can watch the video. It's a pretty crazy game.
Sounds pretty crazy. I'm going to have to do something with that raised bed garden over there.
I mean, it still works.
Yeah. It's looking pretty shit. They've got raised bed gardens at
Oh, yeah?
and their wood look funky. I'm actually going to talk to the maintenance guys, but hey, what kind of wood are you using?
Might be pressure treated.
Because I thought, okay, so even pressure treated would be better for, it lasts longer?
Yeah. Because they treat it so they can
By pressure.
last better outside.
Okay. That's probably
I think
why.
you might need to look into it because I know some of the chemicals they use are not safe to be ingested. So maybe.
Well, that's what I talked to Dad about.
Oh, so maybe you shouldn't use it for that.
Yeah, but maybe they accidentally did.
Yeah, that's very possible. They might have some kind of barrier, some kind of plastic barrier on these. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? But still, that shit's gonna seep in. If any of that goes to it. Sure.
That way it won't hurt my feelings when you throw away half
Yeah.
of that little cigarette-looking cigarette, little Rillo.
Sounds good to me. I don't want to hurt.
I don't know if they're any good or not. I got them from that vape shop that my buddy used to work at when he's in town from college. And they were just selling them for like stupid cheap, so I picked up a couple. I think they're flavored.
Actually, not too bad. They're actually not flavored, overly flavored. They're nice. They don't taste like a Swish or Sweet or anything like that. So they do smell like a turd, but that's okay. Thank you, man.
Yeah, I've been trying to learn how to edit. Very basic stuff. All I'm doing is just cutting down my videos I record.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I was playing 2K when it first came out. WWE 2K.
Wow. How many views do you got?
Not many, like single digits.
Yeah, okay.
People I know, But,
That's cool.
I was kind of messing around with it.
Yeah, we can call our YouTube channel Rum Dum. Because we'll only do it when we...
All my social media accounts that are public, the name is all one word, Cast Iron Macaroni. I was looking for a name that hadn't been taken yet, easy to remember. Could potentially be looked up by accident. Cast Iron Macaroni, and no one had taken it
I
yet.
never heard those check marks before. That's pretty good.
No one had taken it. So all right. So I have a Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
All right.
That was a TikTok account where my video got taken down for explosive weapons. Because it was that truck, the little truck
that's
that shot the
right. That
fireworks.
shit was funny.
It got like 3,000 views, and they took it down for their explosive weapons policy.
Fuck off.
Now, Instagram is where they have people getting like blown up, car accidents and shit like that on Instagram. Joe Rogan was talking about it, where he and the comedian Tom Segura. They always send each other the craziest videos I see on Instagram. People getting blown up, car wrecks, shootings, and shit.
Jeez. Yeah, man, it's a pretty monumental moment for humanity, and it's like, it's barely talked about. You know, it's like, because everyone's all worried about the world ending. We could be uniting over space exploration, but nah. Since Elon Musk is the arbiter of such... such advances, no one wants to give him, especially the left media doesn't want to give him any praise. So I consider myself a Musk fanboy in a way. I mean, to a degree. Like, I'm still skeptical about all the brain chips and shit like that and all that weird
that doesn't
shit.
even exist yet.
No, dude, did you not?
Fuck no.
Bro, you've been living under a rock,
I know
dude.
there's one. I know there's one
That
guy
one guy that was able to control his
computer. It's not like a product that's being rolled out yet.
Not yet, but I mean, dude, he literally got the surgery.
Yeah.
And it took like less than an hour, and he was home, like, immediately. Like, he didn't have to
I ain't
recover.
fucking with that shit. Let me tell you.
Trust me, I don't think a lot of people are gonna fuck with that shit. But give it another couple generations. I mean, Generation Alpha, which is the generation before, Z? Yeah. They're stuck on the iPads, just like what's it called? It's kids. I mean, mind you, like, I guess I was like my age. Everyone was playing video like Nintendo and Super Nintendo and shit. But we might come a day where like everyone's homeschooled by AI. Like, all the kids are homeschooled by AI. Because I'm thinking eventually homeschool is going to be once governments go totally broke, which they will. No one's going to. Public schools are like there's going to be. Imagine like big cities. There's going to be 500 kids to a teacher. They're going to be like, okay, we're just going to teach remotely.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you'll just be at home on a computer.
Generated.
It's school time. You get to the computer. You have
no
your
one
teacher.
will be checking that shit. 'Cause it'll be an AI teacher. No one will be looking like those Facebook posts I showed you where they had like the spider Jesus and all the. You remember that shit? Where it just hits a feedback Jesus. Loop.
Yeah.
Or apparently, Google rolled out like a beta of their AI, where you type in a question on Google and it gives you like its own answer. And apparently, it's had some like wackadoodle shit come up.
I bet.
Yeah, I've just been playing a bunch of little indie games, man.
I go through those little phases, indie game phases.
Well, because I'm trying to make a game, so I'm trying to see like, what
it's
happens
research.
It's research.
It's research, baby. You gotta play all these games.
And I sold a bunch of stuff out of my Steam inventory, so I had a bunch of money.
You can sell stuff?
Out of your Steam inventory, yeah.
What?
Not like your games, but like...
Oh,
when
you're
you play
like...
games, you see those trading cards pop up. You
Okay.
can sell those, or you play games like CSGO, Team Fortress, shit like that. You can sell your items.
Interesting.
I had stuff I just wasn't using. I saw an AK skin I had for CSGO, and I haven't played that game in years, so I got like $40 out of it.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Jesus.
And I sold a bunch of those trading cards you just get for playing games that just pop into your inventory.
Why do people want those?
If you put like a whole set together, you can cash them in for certain like rewards. They're usually just stuff for your profile or stuff,
That's crazy. That's pretty much a precursor to what crypto games are going to be. I mean, Steam has already, and Valve has already been kind of doing that. I mean, it's a very...
I think a lot of people are resistant to it because they're afraid it's going to be another way to get nickel and dimed.
It's true,
but
like,
I gotta
think
shell out
but think how well,
like,
look how well you've done with it.
Work.
You've been playing games. You got something back for playing games.
And I bought new games.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's really the goal of the NFTs, and like have more, because now you're more invested in the game if you can get some sort of monetary value back from all the time you've played.
Yeah,
that's kind of the idea. It might even prevent companies from doing that, like weird. What's that? What they do? Like all the pay models and shit that they've got. That people hate. Like they just string you along. And
yeah.
I heard a quote from the guy who wrote Slaughterhouse-Five.
Kurt Vonnegut?
Yeah, Kurt Vonnegut. Yeah, I've never read Slaughterhouse-Five.
I did when I was in middle school. I don't fucking remember it. Except for the one scene with the ants. That's all I remember from that book.
Apparently, he said, you're put on this earth to fart around. Don't let anyone tell you anything differently. I was like, you know what? I like that. You're put on this earth to fart around. What's the scene with the ants?
There's a scene. I think they were talking about like the way certain prisoners of war got like tortured or whatever. Where they would strip people naked, cover them in honey, and stake them to an ant hill. And the ants would just bite at them, eat them until they died.
Fuck.
The only reason I read it was because it was on the list of approved books that we had to read for our summer project.
Oh, yeah.
And our teacher in 7th grade told us not to read it. They said, I don't know why this book is on there. It shouldn't be there. It's graphic. It's sexual. It's all. You should not be reading it. Do not read it. It's like all of us read it, of course. That's usually how that goes.
Maybe he did that or she did that on purpose to make you read it.
I don't think so. I don't think so. But I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
But what were you in high school?
No, I was in middle school.
Oh. Well, shit, by then you were watching rated R movies and shit.
Well, long before then.
Fucking dad took me to my first rated R movie that my dad took me for a rated R movie to watch in theater when I was like 3 or 4 or something. Guess what movie that was? Mm-hmm. Predator 2. I mean, of course, he should let me see Predator 1 before that.
Yeah. It was nice yesterday at the gym. Nobody was in that bitch.
Oh, you really?
Yeah, nobody was in there. It was like
what time?
10 people. Probably about 5.
5 in the afternoon? Dude,
every
time I go to Planet Fatness, there's millions of fucking people there. Now
yesterday
today
it was empty. It was empty. Well, when I went at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, I went today. I went early, and there was less people there.
Yeah.
Which was nice. But man, I went one day. I went around 11. There's fucking millions of people there on Monday, I think. Fucking tons of people there.
I usually just go right after work because once I get home, I ain't going to the fucking gym. So I go on my way home from work.
They got a gym at the fucking where I work.
Oh, you're
I work out while I work.
Yeah. They let you go on the clock to the gym?
It's just me, bro. I'm the 1-man army, dude.
Well, yeah, but you can't be at the. I thought you had to be at the front.
Oh, when I'm at the front, I have to be at the front. But then I switch and go to the back, and the back is like, I got to open up the thing. Yeah, so I go over there and pump some iron. They actually have a pretty decent facility in there. Yeah. I mean, they got dumbbells all the way up to 50.
Oh. Well, it's mostly like old people.
Yeah. But they've got all the equipment. They've got pull-down machine. They got a chest machine. I don't think they have a fly machine. They might. They've got a nice cable machine. They got all kinds of shit there. I'm like, yeah, there's something I gotta grab and burn. I'll be back.
What do you gotta burn?
I gotta burn. Those sticks caught fire pretty well.
Oh yeah, she started it good. What?
No, I was working on, I was doing some 3D
printing. What are you doing?
I was doing some 3D printing the other day, and one of them came out with her client, and they were just kind of walking. She was walking to her car, and I was just at the station, kind of working.
Yeah.
And they were curious, like, "Hey, what's going on?"
So you got a business going? I'm telling you, you need to make an account and post pictures of the shit you make. See if anybody likes it.
No. I've been thinking about doing an Etsy store.
But you got to get your name out there.
I know, but you start off with an Etsy anyway. I haven't been thinking about it. Let me progress the story here. So, of course, I made that.
Yeah.
The mystery object, right?
Yeah.
And I had it kind of hidden away. So they come over there, we're talking, because I was making the knives. I was like, yeah, these are training knives. I designed them, and I was getting all, like, happy about it and shit. Next thing I know, she's like, oh, what's this? I'm like, oh. Well, I'm already going through the things that we shouldn't talk about. I see a lot of people getting away with a lot of shit on YouTube. I watch YouTube channels that say a bunch of shit. I mean, most people don't say the word.
Sometimes they have a problem getting monetized.
People say won't give them there's this guy called Rebel Capital that I watch, and he calls it the situation that happened a couple of years ago. Calls it the cerveza sickness.
Oh, yeah. That's the thing. People like say, "Oh, so and so unalived themselves."
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, it's like a whole new language we got to develop to bypass the YouTube algorithms.
Yeah.
you know they're using AI or have been using AI
Yeah.
to sort that shit out.
Yeah.
You ever seen that movie or heard about the movie War Games in the 80s?
I think so.
It's about a kid who like hacked into like Pentagon's like supercomputer.
I haven't seen it, but I think I've heard about it.
But it's interesting because back then in the 80s, they were talking about, now that wasn't, they didn't call it AI, they just called it a supercomputer that did strategic calculations.
Yeah.
And they relied on it to strategize a nuclear war or whatever. And the kid kept on winning against the computer or something like that, or I don't know. It was pretty fascinating. But I'm thinking they were wanting to outsource the game theory of a nuclear entanglement back then.
Yeah.
Outsource it to a computer. So you think nowadays, like what we're seeing now, shit. And that's another thing too about the nuclear football, but the president has a nuclear football. I don't think he does.
Yeah.
I think that, he does in ceremony, in ritual, in procedure, but when it comes down to it, if he hits the button, I don't think in somebody in the deep state don't agree, they're not going to do it, or vice versa. I don't know. You can't trust that shit. I don't trust them. And I was thinking that if you were, this is kind of part of a book that I'm kind of writing. Like if you were a part of like the deep state, and you had, even though you're evil, but you have some intentions of not like unleashing nuclear war.
Yeah.
You would want to somehow neuter your opponent from ever launching a nuclear weapon via hacking. You know what I mean? And like disrupting their chain of command. Because what if Putin says, "All right, hit the button," but then nobody follows his orders?
Yeah.
You just cut off the chain of command. Like that would be the easiest way to do it.
Yeah.
And you gotta think, like, okay, think how difficult it is for rocket companies to put a rocket into space. How many those old analog intercontinental ballistic missiles that might be still around, like in Russia, that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
How many are those really gonna work? They're sitting there for years.
Well,
I'm sure they maintain them and all that.
I don't know if it's like a car, or if you leave it sitting, it'll go bad or not. I have no idea.
I don't see why they wouldn't, because if you got something that runs on petroleum, you got all these sophisticated systems that, more than likely they took those nuclear warheads and like they're like modular, so you put them in a new state-of-the-art ballistic missile or whatever, you keep upgrading and you maintain them. I'm sure there's a team that does that. There has to be, because that would be weird to not have, but also most of the, I think, and I could be wrong, I don't know, I need to do some research on this. I think most of the effective nuclear weapons for any superpower is in the submarines. That would make more sense to me because they have a better accuracy because they're launching closer to their target, and they're maintained.
Yeah.
Anything else from like Russia trying to shoot a missile to America would be tough. Even in China, that would be difficult.
Did you hear about that? I forget what it's called, but they actually referenced it in the Call of Duty game, where they had this big, like, continent-destroying weapon where there was no explosives. It's just a big metal javelin, like a mile long, and since they're dropping it from orbit, it gets enough kinetic force to just level shit. No explosive, just whoop, 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 whoop.
They've talked about that, kind of like a comet hitting the Earth,
There's
or
no
something like that.
explosives in a comet. It's a big
it's just a
rock.
and it fucks shit up. It just fucks shit up. Nice and simple, just slingshot. Good old slingshot rock, rock technology. Nothing like it.
That fire, all that's already almost all gone.
Yeah. That mystery item melted pretty fast.
Yeah.
Oh, you smoking one of your little cigarillos?
Yep. For some reason, I thought these were flavored, so I put them in the flavored humidor.
I don't think they're flavored at all.
So.
They're mild.
I might have confused them for those ones that come in the tin with the Mexican ladies on them.
Yeah. Oh, those are good.
I might have thought these were them.
Yeah. I like those. Yeah, because I saw some lady, like when I learned about the Hue Forge, was this lady who had a print farm, and she was making bookmarks.
Oh yeah.
And she was just putting fishes on them.
Yeah.
And she had the Bamboo Lab 4-filament, or is it 3-filament or 4? I don't know, 4-filament system. And she was layering them with a Hue Forge with this like fishes on them and stuff. They looked awesome, dude. And she was making the shit out of them, making money. It's like, she was showing you how Hue Forge worked and stuff like that. And it's like, damn. It's like, that's a pretty interesting idea. With a business model like that, you're kind of everyone copies you, you copy everybody else, and you're just kind of like it's like killing ubiquitous. But still doesn't mean you can't make money.
I saw some people. This is just shady to me, but people will go to like websites to buy like textures, for instance, or whatever, and people want to get like tiling textures to put on things, and people will just go to Midjourney, type in tiling image of this, and then sell it.
That's what she did. That's what she typed in fish
picture, and then
that's what she did. And honestly, like, I don't find that like it does take away from like working artists. But if you want something like you're kind of, I mean, that's just kind of the name of the game these days.
I won't buy that shit.
You're out, but you'll never know it. You'll never know it.
If I know it, I won't buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, I might get tricked. But
if you buy like a chintzy thing, like a bookmark or something, it's a goofy little.
I might get deceived, but if I know it, I'm not going to willingly give them money.
Because that's what I'm going to do to make my little. Because I'm not going to outsource it to an artist. I'm just going to do Midjourney Wolf, Midjourney Aries symbol, Midjourney Pisces symbol, or whatever. Put it on a plant pot or whatever. That's what I'm going to do. Fuck it. Because it's something simple, you know. Yeah. It's not so much the money; it's just the workflow. It's just so much. It's quicker.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I'm contributing to humanity's demise. I know. But
I see how it is.
Simple shit like that. But that's another thing too. I mean, that AI is going to make single or very small studio game developers able to thrive. They were able to all the mundane, monotonous tasks can just be.
Well, things with stuff like that, like I was showing you in Unreal 5.
Yeah.
They have all the photorealistic shit you need from Quixel Bridge, and it's just like people take images of stuff, they photo scan it and clean it up a bit, and then so an artist didn't have to make it, but like talented people have to take the pictures, good quality, can't go out there. You just get it for free.
Yeah.
Oh, I want these kind of boulders. Oh, I want this rickety. Oh, I want a red barrel. I want to.
Yeah.
They're getting paid, I guess, by Unreal. I guess they're getting paid by Epic Games. I guess. I mean, someone's got to be paying them.
Yeah.
And then they actually have a thing on the Unreal page when you download their launcher, where they give you the tools you need to take your own pictures of stuff and make them into a 3D model. So you set up your lights, you take a picture. Apparently it doesn't have to be a real fancy camera. I mean, you just take pictures of stuff from all different angles and turn it into a 3D model for your game.
That's another thing. Creality, the same company that makes my 3D printer,
yeah,
they just came out with a new 3D scanner.
Yeah.
And all you do, it's like a LiDAR system, and you scan it, like it's in your hand, and you just kind of scan
it. Gives you the 3D information.
And then you can give it, so I can put that into like my CAD software. It's a sculpture in the CAD software, and then I can turn it to STL, and then I can print it. So I can reverse engineer something that I want to print.
Yeah.
From that, the scanners, I mean, it's kind of expensive. I think it was like $600. It's kind of expensive, but it fucking works.
Yeah.
And it's not some chintzy like works half-ass kind of thing. Like it actually works. Because those systems they've been around, but they've been really expensive. Because like people with CNC machines and machine shops would use them. But yeah, dude, that's exciting, man. Just think like car parts or something. You just scan it.
I don't think that would be good for car parts.
Some car parts are fine.
Yeah.
Some car parts you just need really
like
high
a body part.
Well, not like an exhaust system. I'm talking like something that's plastic.
Yeah.
Usually you can do because nylon's very, heat resistant.
Yeah.
So
I'm talking about is the scanner is it accurate enough?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
to get like machine details. What if it needs threads? You telling me that thing is going to pick
no,
up?
No. It's gonna pick up. No, you're gonna have to do that. But no, I meant like an object.
Yeah.
You scan the whole thing, and it'll. I mean, you might like with certain complex objects that have like.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like ducts and stuff. Yeah, you're gonna have to. Like, I don't know how well it would do the inside, but you'll be able to get it to a point where you can work on it.
Yeah.
You know, where you don't have to sit there and measure everything out. I wonder, how good it is. But it's been getting better and people buy it, so it can't be that bad. Or at least it'll get your foot in the door where you don't have to do all the meticulous measuring and shit.
There's some cleanup.
Yeah, there's still going to be some cleanup. Yeah, I'm sure.
Kind of reminds me of like the old Doom games. They made clay models of the monsters and took pictures of them.
Yeah.
And that's what they used it for the sprites.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Any word from E?
Here and there we send each other stuff. Seems like he's doing all right.
Is he still in Vegas or somewhere else now?
I don't know where he's at. Oh yeah, I guess E stopped making episodes of his podcast.
Yeah. Probably too busy.
Probably. But yeah, it looked like he was having some like legit guests on side PCs. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw he had a bunch of episodes, people on there. Oh, I have the expert on this.
That's pretty cool.
You went to some like meetup of podcasters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if he's in Vegas, that's one of the places to be. There's a lot like Twitch awards are there. I mean, I know that's not podcasters, but streamers, yeah. But there's a lot of always shit going on in Vegas, like all the tech conventions and you name it. Yeah.
Next year's WrestleMania is going to be in Vegas.
Wow. Yeah, because they got the new stadium there.
And they just did, I haven't seen it yet, but the PLE yesterday that they had was in Vegas.
PLE.
Paid live event, pay-per-view. It was at the UFC center, so I guess it's going to be in an octagon. I haven't seen it yet. It came out yesterday, but I wonder, because a lot of like the moves in WWE are centered on, or professional wrestling in general, centered on that specific type of ring, the modified boxing ring. So I wonder if it's in a cage or what. That'd be cool to see.
When you said the word octagon, there was this band that I was just in high school that I just loved. Their name was Orgy. I don't know if you've ever remember who they
I have. I just heard their cover of Blue Monday,
dude,
and it was sick as fuck.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I was like one of my favorite bands, and I actually in senior year in high school I was going to see them live at Pensacola. Their guitar player got mono and they canceled. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Anyway, they came out like that. They had 2 albums. They came out with a 3rd album, but they weren't backed by a big record label by then, so they just kind of petered out. But so their first album, Candy Ass, was a super dark album, dude. It's really good.
I don't think I've heard a lot of their stuff, but they popped up on my Spotify.
Yeah, their second album called Vapor Transmissions. Their music, dude, was way ahead. Okay, so their single that they came out with was called Dreams in Digital.
Okay.
And so the whole song was a metaphor. They talked about a girl who all she did was dream in digital, was online.
Yeah.
And like now that came out in the early 2000s. But dude, today that would make so much more sense. I mean, yeah, even back then people were online all the time and on the internet, but it didn't feel as poignant. Today, like, dude, I'm telling you, this band was ahead of their time, dude. Like, fiction, dreams, and digital, and they were just talking about how people would just hook up online and live their life vicariously through just being online. Like, and that was before social media really blew up. That was before social media blew up. And I was like, man, these guys are like way ahead of their time. And they have a song on their album called Octagon. So when you said that word, I was like, I remember that song.
I just heard about them because I typed in Blue Monday.
Yeah.
And their cover came up.
Fucking sick,
and
bro.
I was like, damn, I like it.
Dude, that was my favorite band in high school. They still have and now I'm looking back going, man, they were so far ahead. Like, I'm remembering that album, it's called Vapor Transmissions. And they kind of deviated from their weird dark. Candy Ass was a kind of a darker album, even though Vapor Transmission is like a dark album. They were a band that talked about how, I mean, to make it simple, to simplify it, like popular people or people that want to be popular or famous are stupid. Like that's pretty much their gist of their most of their songs. And then there's sexual innuendos wrapped inside of that, you know, like or whatever. And dude, sick, dude. Y'all hung out with Dad yesterday at the Golden Corral. Yeah, they don't serve steaks until 11 now.
He was pissed off.
Yeah, that's kind of
lame.
lame.
You're old when you're pissed off at Golden Corral changing what time they serve certain items on the menu. That's how you know.
I was mad too. I was like, damn, that's fucked up.
Well, just, he forces, well, I wouldn't say forces, but that's the only place he wants to go, so I'm so tired of Golden Corral.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I hope they close down.
No, I don't. Yeah,
like
I want to get them to the Thai buffet.
I'd
You
rather
like
go
the
there.
Thai
I like
buffet?
the Thai
Yeah,
buffet.
Thai buffet is great.
They only have the buffet Monday through Friday.
Monday through Saturday.
Oh, it's Saturday? I thought it was Friday.
Monday through Saturday. Well, look
they're
at the
closed
sign.
like Monday or Tuesday or
Look
something,
at the
right?
sign.
Or aren't they closed like on a weekday?
I think they're closed on a Tuesday
On Tuesday.
or something. But yeah, but it says buffet Monday through Saturday. I thought so. I was like, yeah, they're open Saturday.
Yeah, I'll just demolish those damn boiled eggs.
Yeah,
the
man.
brown boiled eggs. Bro.
And they sell raw honey there too.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, I need to get some.
I can just sit there and eat those damn eggs all day.
Yeah, pretty good. They got good food there.
I ate those damn pickled jalapeno quail eggs. Those are no joke. Those are spicy as hell.
Where
that I got from the Busy Bee. It's like a it's like a gas station / convenience store /
everything store.
Yeah, because they have like $500 bags there.
$500 bags,
like
of what?
purses made out of like cowhide.
Holy
and
shit!
Yeah,
at a gas station.
It's a gas station.
Maybe I bought you a purse at the gas
It's
station.
also kind of like the gift section at Cracker Barrel. Like it also has like fancy like stuff and like tourist items and stuff. And so I guess this is normal in other countries, but it's not normal in America. Their bathroom stalls, they're not like the little pieces of plastic that you can see through. It's brick, or it's like full on built out walls on either side of you with a door that latches, like a room.
It's cool.
But anyway, those eggs are no joke. They're spicy as hell. You can only eat like 3 of them. They're that big.
I don't even know how you do it sometimes, bro. I can only handle like very little spice.
I'm not even that.
Yeah.
I can't handle like Thai hot at a Thai restaurant. I'm not even that, but I'm just.
You like a little bit more spicy.
Yeah.
You can handle some spice. More than average, that's for sure. Yeah, I'm going through a phase where I don't even want to play any video games anymore. I'm just like, nah, done.
Bro, I was going sicko mode on Bellator or whatever it's called, Bellatro.
Oh.
Bro, I was going sicko mode on that game because I just have like a fixation on cards.
Yeah.
And that so you told me that you told me about it months ago when it came out.
Yeah.
But you probably said, "Oh, there's this poker game out on Steam," and then my brain just went to fucking monkey slapping the symbols together. Poker game, I could give a fuck. But I see there's like special cards, like you have glass cards,
the Jokers,
seals,
and
the Jokers, all these different modifiers.
Yeah,
and you get, I was like, "What the fuck is this game? I've never heard of this before."
Yeah, people were streaming that game. People still do.
People have already like cracked the code. They're like,
really?
I already know, like, oh, I want this card. Okay, oh, this run's not going good. And then, you know, like they're already
people are running it and they're playing each other. I was like, man, that's pretty neat.
Bro, that bull card with like the bull on it is the fucking.
What does it do?
You get +2 chips for every $1 in your account.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then so you just.
I focus on multipliers. That's all I do.
Well, the thing is, but pluses. So then I had another card where if I don't use my discards, I get like plus a bunch of fucking money for each discard.
Oh, that's cool.
So I had like $300. I get +2.
Oh, wow.
And then I had the red card, so I would just skip every booster pack. So I had like a 30, 40, 50 mults, and then plus like 300 chips right off the bat.
Usually my strategy is to do a flush strategy, and I always try to like whatever, you know, I'll go to the common store or the, you know, and I get like, if I'm focused on spades, I'll get the Joker that says, if you get a spade flush, you get a multiplier. Like I do that kind of shit. I try to do like a flush thing. But then I get screwed over if I go to one of those the
all spades or debuffs.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Boss
It's like,
blind.
whoopsies. Like, yippers, you're done. Like, I dip my toes in Magic sometimes, and every time I get back into it, I'm like, I'm up against elves and goblins. I'm like, this is why I don't want to play this game anymore. It's just so much fucking garbage, dude.
I won a couple weeks ago. I've been doing a lot of overtime, so I haven't been going to Magic.
Yeah.
But I won a couple weeks. I had a good time.
Yeah. I thought One Piece was going to be the game where, I can get back into it. Like,
You can't beat Magic. Man.
No,
Can't
you can
beat it.
definitely
Yeah,
fucking
you
beat
can't.
Magic.
No one's done it yet.
Yeah, absolutely. They've done it.
They have not.
One Piece is better. Dragon Ball Z is
How many people
better.
are playing One Piece versus Magic?
Yeah,
No
but I'm
one's
talking,
been able
I'm
to
talking
overcome
about
the popularity.
I'm talking about, it's because of time in the market, dude. Come on. There's so many, but there's so much better games than Magic. Magic is
been
a
a
garbage
Magic killer
game.
yet, man.
It's not never going to be a Magic killer per se. Magic
never
will kill
will be.
itself.
That's what they keep
Bullshit
saying.
fucking rules and shit.
That's what they keep saying.
Yeah.
Nobody can get away. Nobody can crawl away. They want to. Oh, I'm gonna play the Star Wars game. No, you're gonna be one of 2 people in the shop. Good luck, motherfucker.
One Piece has gotten popular. I see those. There's a table over there playing One Piece. It has to be a big IP like One Piece or something like that. That's
That's
been
the
around.
other thing. It's hard for like the real small, because Magic
Star Wars
was its
is big.
own IP.
Disney. Yeah.
Magic was its own IP.
Well, I mean, it's been around for a long time.
Well, no, I'm talking about back when it started, before it was big. It
Yeah.
was its own IP, but now you have to be part of Star Wars, One Piece.
Yeah, you have to be,
even
yeah.
compete.
Now
Like,
there
there's
are
that
some
one
there are
game-
some games that have their own IP, but of course they're like there's Flesh and Blood, and that's
I
kind
was
of
gonna say Sorcery. That was another game that was the Magic Killer.
Oh, okay.
That had its own IP. I don't think that did anything.
Yeah.
It looked cool though, but I don't think it got anywhere.
Mm-hmm. The new finals season looks really good.
I don't even have it downloaded. I don't like online competitive games, mainly because our internet is so hit and miss. I feel like I don't want to spend the effort trying to,
I got you.
it's not even worth it. And I just like single player oriented experiences better.
Yeah,
Like story stuff,
that's fair. The new Elden Ring DLC is coming out. That's going to be a banger.
I'm terrible at those kind of games. I played Dark Souls 3. I just can't.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to play it, but I know it's going to do well. Because Elden Ring, everyone loves that shit. Yeah. Dark Souls, everyone loves it. I only go on like stints of like, or sometimes I'll play some RPG and I'll play, some or whatever. I'm more into city builders now. I like city builders a lot. Frostpunk 2 is coming out July. It's gonna be interesting. There's a couple of strategy games. Like I've been playing Dune Spice Wars.
Yeah.
It's a little community for that. But I want another patch. I want some more. I don't know. I want something more to the game. The game is very defensive. It seems like you're very like if you're defending, you're super strong. You can hold off like 3 people. It's crazy. You've watched the first Alien before, haven't you?
Yeah.
What'd you think about it?
Oh yeah. The thing is, that's one of those franchises where I really like the first movie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a big fan of the franchise itself.
Well, Aliens. You've seen the second one?
Yeah.
It was good.
And the rest of them, I just
The rest of them are just what? Yeah,
I'm
I'm
like sci-fi channel fodder.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Alien 3 was just okay.
Which is funny
Alien
because
4, yeah,
I'm a big fan of the Saw franchise,
yeah,
even though most of the movies are garbage.
yeah.
But the concept of the franchise grabbed me, so I don't care how trash they are.
Well, it's
they're
kind of like
part
how
the
I
canon.
like sci-fi. Sci-fi kind of grips me like that.
Or is
too. I
that how
like
you are with
concept.
the Alien franchise, where a lot of them aren't that good, but you like the franchise so much, you're just like, fuck it, this is what it is. We're watching it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll always watch. Like, I only rewatch Alien and Aliens. I'll never rewatch Alien 3.
But yeah,
I won't
they're there
rewatch
for lore
the
reasons,
Resurrection
but-
one. I won't rewatch.
Oh,
it.
have you played the game Isolation?
I heard about it.
Apparently, it's canon. You're
yeah, Ridley's daughter.
yeah.
Ripley's daughter.
Ripley's daughter.
Yeah, man. I mean, that was a lot of people love that
That was
game.
really good.
It was a great game concept. It just had one monster, and she had to like survive. A lot of people liked that game. I never played it though. And then they came out with another game kind of recently. It was called Colonial Marines or something like that.
Oh, I think I heard about it.
Something-
Third-person shooter.
It was, yeah.
I think.
and that did pretty well. And it had some lore in it that was kind of cool. They had these humans that worshipped the aliens, and they were trying to like bring them back or whatever. And they had these weird they call husks kind of dudes where they wanted to get the alien inside them, but what they did, they put this apparatus on them on their chest to stunt its growth, so they can always have it inside of them. And so the aliens the xenomorphs would walk by them and they would look at them and they wouldn't kill them because they had yeah, dude, it was wild, but they were still human.
Yeah.
But dude, it was fucking crazy, bro. I was like, dude, that's crazy.
So in the lore, whatever a face hugger gets on,
yeah,
the xenomorph that comes out takes the physical attributes of what
Right.
it got into, right?
right.
So in any of the fiction, have they like
They've
got
done a
stuck on
predator.
dog's
They've done a
face?
yeah. Well, that was Alien
Or-
3 was a
I
dog.
don't remember that.
Well,
I
Alien
don't
3
remember
was a
if I saw
dog
it.
predator.
Okay.
I mean, a dog alien. Excuse me, a dog xenomorph, because it got into the dog. That's how Alien 3 was.
I don't even know if I saw that.
Yeah, I saw it so long ago, but it was a dog, and then there was one of the Alien versus Predator. There was a xenomorph predator version. So it was pretty interesting, but
I was reading one of the Alien versus Predator extended universe books once.
yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I actually, besides the alien itself, I just like the terraforming colonies, spaceships. I like that. You don't even have to put the alien in there. I just like all that shit. You know, that to me is just like, you know, Ridley Scott and his team of concept artists that came from Dune, the first Dune that was supposed to be made that didn't get made. They created that world, and just that world was cool. I could watch that scene, like from the first Alien when they land on that planet. I can just rewatch that fucking scene. I love that kind of shit. I don't know, yeah. I can just rewatch that scene and shit. Yeah, I'm hyped because this movie's gonna depict like the Wayland Corporation was actually doing experiments on the face huggers and the aliens, and no one knew about it. So this is gonna change the lore up. This movie actually doesn't change. Well, it brings light to certain things in the lore because they're going to depict Wayland already knew about all these alien shit. They just kept it secret, and so apparently there's a lot of big changes in the lore. It's coming with this movie, and it's like, oh shit, man, I can't wait. And there's some kind of meteorite-esque thing that comes into the ship. And everyone thinks it's an alien cocoon of some sort, but you don't know. It just looks like a boulder. You know what I mean? But it's some kind of fucking. It's something. So, oh, dude. And well, the cool thing about this movie is they're gonna have 0G scenes.
Oh yeah, they actually filmed at 0G.
Dude, I was like, well, why not? Like that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be like they have the water scenes. That makes things scarier. Just having like claustrophobic water, something's in the water, you can't see it.
Yeah.
That's already fucking scary. And then you have these 0G scenes where the acid is like in 0G.
Oh god.
They had it in the preview. That goo stuff.
I didn't make
that was the acid.
I didn't
So
make
it was
that.
in the dude. I'm like, dude, this is fucking cool.
Yeah.
I'm like, so the guy that's directing, like, he has good prop ideas. Like that prop idea when that girl put that X-ray on the back and it showed it.
Oh yeah.
Dude, that's
cool.
fucking, that's creative, dude. Like, that's cool. That's just a good, I mean, I hate to use the word gimmick, but that's a good gimmick, you know, like, prop, I guess, technically would be the word to use, but, oh my god, like, it's so smart.
Yeah.
Just for the scare factor and it, oh man, it's gonna be good.
I love seeing like the behind the scenes, like the creative shit.
I always
How they
watch
do that.
aliens behind the scenes.
I love watching.
I love watching that
the
shit.
behind the scenes of how they make the saw traps.
Oh,
Those are so
fuck.
cool. They had a scene where this lady had to hack her arm off.
Oh god,
Like that.
yeah.
She's a black lady.
Yeah.
So they had her put her arm like this, and they made a hole in the bench where her arm went like this.
Yeah.
And then they had another actress with the same skin tone, had her hand like this.
Yeah.
And then a fake arm piece right there.
Bridge.
And she hacked it, and then the actress underneath the table is looking at like a monitor, and she's like moving her hand, freaking out. And then she's cutting an actual thing. She's actually cutting something.
You got to be good because if you're off,
Yeah. I think they had like a metal because they had the other guy had like the same thing where he got cut party off. He was like a bigger guy.
Yeah.
But they put like a metal plate over his stomach.
Yeah.
And they built a fake stomach over it, and that's what he cut into. And there's a metal plate protecting himself. So they actually made it so that it's not so planned out. The actor has a little bit of freedom.
Yeah.
To act. It's
Right.
not like perfect that they gave him like, all right, you have to cut your fucking arm off, and you get to actually act it out.
Yeah. Wow, that's so crazy.
Yeah.
Because even just doing that would be fucking crazy. Mind you, like, there's another, like, I know Prometheus is shat on, and it's not a perfect movie, but it's still a pretty decent movie in the Alien franchise. I forgot about Prometheus. I like Prometheus, but the scene where she has to do her own surgery to get the alien out of her, you remember that scene? That was fucking cool. That was cool.
Yeah.
You know, so there's some good scene, like that stupid scene where the ship falls and everyone doesn't run to the like what, dude? Like, give me a break. And then everything was weird when they went into the temple, and like everyone got, like, those two guys got lost, even though they did a full scan of the whole thing. Like, why did they get lost? But they cut a scene out to show like how they got separated. But I was like, how did these guys get lost? Like, they know where everything was. And it was.
Whenever we do our next movie night, I know you kind of tapped out at number 2, but you got to watch the third of the original Evil Dead.
Oh.
It's so good.
Well, the third one's the one where he goes back in time, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the one. I've seen that one. It's been a while. It's been a while.
We should watch it again. Because there's, I don't know if you remember.
That's when he gets the chainsaw hand, right?
Well, no, that happens in, I think, all 3 of them. He does that. So the first movie,
Yeah.
they have the first bit of plot
Yeah.
that happens. The second one, something happened with the rights, so they couldn't use the footage from the first one.
Yeah.
So they completely redo the first movie in like the first 30 minutes of the second movie.
Right.
So it happens again.
Okay.
And then the third one's where he goes back in time.
Yeah.
That's
That's the one where he has
where he already has it. He already has it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I think this, yeah. And so the third, like, there's a lot of stuff they do with practical effects. Whereas the scene where his face gets stretched out,
Yeah.
and they actually did that practically.
Oh,
They
wow.
built a mask of his face but stretched and put it on him after the magic or whatever happens.
That's looking crazy. God. Evil Dead 3. Yeah, he looks like Mark Cuban. That's right. I always get him.
Yeah, he goes, oh, it was Mark Cuban doing it.
He really does look like Mark Cuban.
I'm still so glad that we watched the first 3 Pirates movies back to back.
Oh my God! I can't
That's
believe
so
you subject me to that.
It was good, man. Come on.
It was
a
good, but
movie.
damn, 9 hours we were fucking just like glued to the screen.
I was just drinking rum and cokes for 9 hours, bro.
Fuck. Got rookie drunk.
Hell no, dude. Hell no.
God damn. What's my life? My life. Oh, that's funny. There's that new movie that's like similar to Deadpool that's coming out. I say similar because it's got that like high-end, super violent action, very witty humor. Dude has a red vest on the whole movie. His sidekick has got a yellow costume on.
Yeah. Boy Kills World.
Boy Kills World. It looks actually pretty good.
Isn't it already out?
It might be coming out
already
pretty
out.
soon.
I
Yeah.
thought it was already out.
But it looks like a fun movie.
And the main character is It the Clown, the reboot.
Right, that's what, yeah.
And the bad guy from John Wick 4.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. That's right. He is that guy.
And then the dude doing the voiceover from the trailer. The reason I knew it wasn't the main actor is because it's the voice actor for Bob's Burgers
Oh, really?
and Archer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's that guy doing the voiceover. I'm like, that's...
Because he's like a mute or something. He's deaf mute. Or
Oh,
something.
is he?
The actor is.
Oh, the character?
The character. Sorry, not that.
Well, I was about to say,
No,
damn.
not the actor.
Who did his voice in John Wick 4?
Yeah, it was like a dubber. No,
They
the
dubbed it.
character.
Because didn't they dub Steven Seagal in one of those movies?
I'm sure they did.
I think they dubbed him in
I'm
one
sure
of
in
the
certain
movies.
scenes they did.
They dubbed him over, yeah.
Oh my God, that guy. Jesus.
I think that thing Corridor Crew where they did John Thick. It was if they cast Steven Seagal, he's like in the wheelie office chair running around doing like karate moves.
Oh fuck, bro. Oh, that's rough.
And like his butt crack hanging out while he was running.
What happens when Steven Seagal shows up at their door?
Bro, every movie he's in, he's just sitting.
What happens? Diabetes is tough, man. Diabetes is wrong. I mean, he had those 2 good movies, Marked for Death,
Back in the day, yeah.
and his first 2, really, Marked for Death and
Above the Law.
Above the Law. Those were good movies.
That was cool where he goes in there with the damn billiard ball and the fucking bag.
Fucks people up. Those worked. Those worked for the 90s action.
He still ran like this.
Yeah, he still ran kind of like this, but they worked. But then after that, he did Under Siege, and it had Tom Jones. Tom Jones.
There was that other podcast,
Tim Jones,
with the comedians, Come Town.
Oh yeah.
Where they made fun of it, and like so all these U.S. Army veterans are 70 years old, so their commander is like 90 years old, and he's like got the rifle and he's got the stock over his shoulder like a bazooka.
Yeah, because he mumbles. That's why they have to dub him, because he's like, you don't even know what the fuck he's saying. Of course, some hot chick is all over him, like, all right.
Yeah, some hot 25-year-old.
He would have been. That's another thing too. That was he in one of the Expendables movies?
I don't remember him in one.
That's one of the. He would be primed to be in the Expendables movies, but he cannot get along with fucking anybody. Like nobody wants to work with him.
Yeah,
I don't fucking blame him.
Asshole.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to work with that motherfucker.
I saw someone covering one of his movies, and there's one of those movies where he's always sitting down, and he always has a cigar in his hand. He's like, is half this movie's budget just him just smoking cigars, sitting down, mumbling?
Yeah, brother. That's how we do it, brother. Yeah, that one movie that he had, I think it was one of the Fox brothers was his partner, police partner. It was called Glimmer Man. Was it that movie or something else? But like he all acted all black and shit.
No.
He was like, yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Steven Seagal gets canceled after all these years.
He was all talking ghetto and shit. Like all of a sudden, no other movie had him talking ghetto until that movie.
He's a character actor, man.
Yeah, he gets into the character.
He's a method man.
Yeah, he's a method man. Oh shit. Kind of like speaking of method actors, what is that guy's name? That's in Last of the Mohicans and that oil movie. Fuck. Blood. There Will Be Blood.
Oh, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Daniel Day-Lewis. Gangs of New York.
Yeah.
Fucking Jesus, that guy. Wow. That's all I have to say. I didn't realize he played an Indian in The Last Mohicans. That was a great movie. That was a really good movie. At the end, when the Indian son dies and he just goes fucking crazy and kills everybody. He kills that other Indian. I mean, just ends them. Like it wasn't even a fight. It was just done. Yeah. Like you're done.
Did you ever watch Bone Tomahawk?
No. It's
a Western horror movie with Kurt Russell in it. Where they're in this town. Well, first, do you know who Sid Haig is? No. Man, him and this other guy are these like awful. There's a name for them, but they're like the people in the Old West who would just kill people, steal their shit out on the frontier. Yeah. So they just killed these people
Bandits?
who were camping. Yeah, they just killed these people who were camping, stole their stuff, and then as they were running away, they run through this like temple ground.
Yeah.
Like they steal something from it or kick something over or like spit on something. I forget what. And then these people come after them. There's this weird like cult that lives in the caves. And they kill one of them and the other one runs off into the town. They couldn't get to him. And then some people go missing. Mm-hmm. And it turns out like the Indians know about these people and they know not to mess with them. But the sheriff and whoever else is like, all right, we're gonna go get our people back. Yeah. So they venture into.
Are they Indians or are they like outlaws?
They're some kind of like mutants or something. They're weird.
Yeah.
There's some kind of weird cult of, I guess, some kind of indigenous cannibal tribe. And it's pretty crazy.
Wow.
It's a crazy
What's this movie called again?
Bone Tomahawk.
Oh,
it's got Kurt Russell in it. It's really good. And it's got I could be remembering this wrong, but I think it's the guy that played the owl in The Watchmen. I think he's in it. I'm pretty sure that's the guy I'm thinking of. Yeah.
When you say Kurt Russell, it makes me want to watch Big Trouble in Little China again.
Bro, might be my favorite movie. Definitely my favorite movie with Kurt Russell in it is The Hateful Eight.
Really?
I love that.
I mean, it's a good movie.
That might be my favorite.
It's a good movie, but you can't beat Picture of Old Time. You can't beat that movie.
I mean, it's great, but
it's sensational.
it might be in my top 10, but it's not in the top 5.
What is your top 5 movies?
I'm not sure, but The Hateful Eight is in it.
Yeah, you don't have to say what's number 1, what's number 2.
No.
You just have to say what's top 5.
Hateful Eight's in it.
That's difficult to say.
I think at least 2 of them are Tarantino movies.
Yeah.
Hateful Eight and Pulp Fiction.
Oh, wow.
For some reason, also up in there is the Simpsons movie. I can't get enough of that movie.
Well, you love The
in there.
Simpsons, so.
That's 3 of them. Not sure what order, but it's 3 of them.
Well, Quentin Tarantino's just top 5, so there's more room.
Yeah.
We'll just group all Tarantino movies into
Yeah,
one
my
movie.
top movies, that's in there. What else, man?
I'm trying to think what I would think.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Really? Like the first one?
The first and second one have got to be up there
Wow.
somewhere. I love those movies.
I'm trying to think of a movie.
But some of those movies, they might not be in my top because they're goofy, but I still love them. Or some of those movies I watched a million times over. His dad didn't have cable; he just had VHS tapes.
Yeah.
So I've seen like Van Helsing 1,000
Oh,
times.
God.
You know, people hate on it, but I love it. It's just camp.
Yeah.
It's goofy. I love it, man.
Yeah.
The Mummy.
The Mummy.
The Mummy.
Wow.
Not the Tom Cruise one.
Right.
The one with Brendan Fraser.
Yeah. He was a top-notch actor, man. He was pretty much like Ryan Reynolds is now.
Kind
And
of.
then something happened. I think he got injured.
Oh, you know what's funny? The reboot of The Mummy had Tom Cruise as the main guy.
Yeah.
Remember that
Mhm.
one? You know who their first pick for the original Mummy was?
The original Mummy?
The original Mummy. Well, not the original. The one with Brendan Fraser.
Okay, yeah.
It was Tom Cruise.
Really?
They wanted him over Brendan Fraser. They wanted Tom Cruise.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder why Tom Cruise even did a reboot. It seemed kind of strange.
Probably a lot of money. I mean, damn.
Yeah, but it just seemed strange. I don't know. I mean, I guess it did okay, but
I mean, he's one of those big draws that
Yeah.
you know, you're gonna get guaranteed.
I guess he needed
amount
work
of
and
butts and
didn't know what to
seats.
do. I don't know. I found that kind of weird. I was like, really? Anyway.
Good job. Check. Movie. Well, they were
But a
trying to launch a
reboot.
cinematic universe, the Dark Universe. Did you know about that?
No.
Well, the Mummy, that's one of Universal's original monsters. So they
Right.
wanted to have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde,
Oh.
the Mummy, the Wolf Man, the Invisible Man. They wanted to make like the
Kinda
Marvel
like what
universe,
yeah.
but it's like the
I don't think
Universal.
anybody cares about that shit.
They tried to. They
Yeah.
put probably $1 billion or whatever into it.
Yeah,
Hired Tom
I don't think
Cruise.
nobody cares about those. I mean,
No.
not that Mummy did well, you know, and I guess the success of the Mummy, they're probably thinking, hey, you know, but it was just a good movie, period.
Yeah.
You know, like,
The Brendan Fraser one.
yeah, Brendan Fraser one. I remember seeing the Tom Cruise one, thinking it was okay, but I don't remember it. So I only seen it once. I mean, but I remember fondly the Brendan Fraser movies. I mean, I was younger then. I actually remember that one of my favorite scenes that sticks out to me was when the mummies were like filling the streets, and the little sidekick guy was walking, and he acts like a mummy.
Yeah, he won't tell.
Yeah. I just remember that
Bro,
part.
what freaks me out is those scenes where the damn scarabs went under the dude's skin. I think it was like the fat Egyptian guy went under his skin. Like you hear a crunch in his brain as he
yeah.
followed that, bro.
That was rough. That's fucking rough.
Oh, and I was listening to something about it. And that scene where there's a bunch of them have like boils because of the plagues.
Yeah.
There's one whose eyes are whited out, nobody else. And apparently that's because the extras were really terrible, and one of them kept looking straight into the camera. He was looking straight. And he would not stop doing it, so they just whited out his eyes in CG. They CG'd his eyes white.
Bruh. They're like,
Wouldn't
we
stop.
can't get anybody else. We'll just pay him shit and then white out his eyes later. That's funny, man. Don't look at the camera.
All right, we'll just white his eyes out later.
That's funny.
Who cares?
Hilarious. It would be hard for me to decide what my top 10 movies would
I
be.
know the Pirates movies, those couple Tarantino movies. I know that.
I'll tell you what movies would might surprise some people, but a lot of Ghibli movies would make my top 10.
That's not surprising. A lot of people love those.
Yeah, those are
They're
great
beloved
movies.
movies.
Yeah, they really are.
I'm not into anime, but
Like it would be a lot of anime movies.
yeah.
Because I also think of movies that actually secretly or overtly influenced a lot of modern day movies, like Akira.
Yeah.
Like that movie goes without saying has been an inspiration to so many modern day directors. For a lot of so many different ways. Ghost in the Shell.
They just made that live action years ago.
Which I didn't think, a lot of fans didn't like it. I didn't think it was that bad. I really didn't. I don't mind Hollywoodizing endings sometimes. I don't mind it. I know that, because the first movie had a very existential ending. It kind of left you thinking for yourself. Well, if you've never seen it, you got to see that movie. It's great. And actually, the way they do the plot is so cool in Ghost in the Shell, where there's a lot of complex bureaucracy happening in the background, but the real story that's about the character and what they're going through come to the front. Strangely, it's how, I hate to say this, the prequels worked. Even though the prequels weren't, best dialogue and all that shit, and it was goofy fucking shit. But the overall, how the plot worked, how there was actually complex political shit happening in the background, but yet you wouldn't worry about it because you were worried about the characters and their arc. But yet there was a lot of complex stuff happening. I mean, think about it. During those 3 movies, a senator became vice chairman of the council and was secretly building an army to defeat. Like, he was the one funding the opposition while he was creating. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Think about it. It was like he was creating the army to defeat with the order. So he didn't want to overthrow the empire. He wanted to rise within. He created the situation to get voted on. But most people don't think about how complex that was because you're just looking at the arc of the characters. Yeah. And that's actually was the genius part of the prequels, and how that was executed so well. That was the only thing that was executed well. Everything else was kind of, goofy, and like the action scenes were neat. The acting was whatever, and the lines were garbage and nothing. It was kind of weird, but just that alone, it was really smart. It's funny how I just compare Ghost in the Shell to prequel Star Wars, but to me, that's how that's how it happened. There's a lot of bureaucratic stuff in the background that you didn't get bogged down by. It didn't take away from your experience. And then you can rewatch Ghost in the Shell and go, oh my God, all this stuff was happening. And it was fascinating and intricate and clever, but it wasn't necessary because really it was just a backdrop for the real arc of these characters. So ultimately in Ghost in the Shell, there's these, she worked oh God, what's the lead character's name? I feel so goofy not remembering right now, but anyway, you had a group of, they're like intelligence officers in a way. They work for the government. There's these certain, I think they're called Section 9 or something like that, and there's different sections, kind of like SEAL teams maybe, but they're more urban, but they're always competing for funding. So really there's another section that is competing with Section 9. And there's like something happening, and then so there's this terrorist group. So what happened was there's this AI terrorist that is infiltrating because people can hook up to the internet through their brains. So you can actually hack people's brains and shit and tell them what to do. So apparently that was created by another section, but they wanted it like another part of the government, but they wanted to keep it secret. But this other Section 9 was finding out that it was its own agency that was doing this. So it was cool. Yeah. And it was kind of like espionage and all this stuff. But at the end of the movie, ends up being a wash. Both sections shake hands and it's over. Yeah. But now you have the people left over that were either physical casualties of this tension or psychological casualties. But to me, that depicts war in general. Usually, when war is over, you have a war. When war is over, everyone shakes hands, and then the people that suffer are the poor people, or the people that are the soldiers. To me, that's what it felt like. Yeah. And I thought that was just cool, and I think that's a backdrop for what everyone thinks about how like the transcendentalism of new technology, and that was kind of the forefront. But then the backdrop was all that too, and I thought that's what makes that movie so cool. Apart from the visual effects and the optics, I mean, just like how that like in Akira, that motorcycle skid.
Yeah.
Like you could like that motorcycle skid's used in every animation is pick that up and use it as a meme pretty much, and so like in that scene in Ghost in the Shell, where I can't remember her name, but anyway, she has some kind of like whatever name.
Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah, Scarlett Johansson. So when she jumps off the building naked, because she has that cloak on, the see-through camouflage, that's a meme. That's a huge thing. So there's certain scenes that were just, and the scene where she's fighting the guy in the puddle in the water. Bro, you gotta see it. If you've never seen it, you gotta see it. It's good stuff. But I mean, that would have to be. So a lot of anime movies have to be. I don't know top 5. I mean, Aliens up there. Aliens is up there. And I even I actually like a lot of Japanese cinema, because I mean, Seven Samurai is up there.
Yeah.
I can watch that movie over and over again. Just like the original Star Wars
The original trilogy.
Yeah, it's hard. I'm kind of biased against Star Wars just because I hate Star Wars so much now for so many different reasons. But it's hard to deny that magic that the original Star Wars really had. Yeah. It really is. Even though it was like the Return of the Jedi with the little cuddly teddy bears taking over taking on the Empire, was like, oh, okay. But and even though I love Dune, it doesn't really make. I tell you what movie actually surprisingly makes the cut is Sicario.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen Sicario before?
The first one I didn't see.
Yeah, the second one's good too.
I didn't see it.
But I mean, that's Denis Villeneuve, the guy who did the recent Blade Runner and Dune. I mean, that movie was awesome. Love that movie. So, I think also a hidden gem that I recommend anyone seeing. The only movie that I've cried in movies before, not like cry, but like a little tear, a little emotional, But this movie, I was weeping. I wept, bro. Like I don't think I've wept so losing a girlfriend, or like the first girlfriend that you lose is always like a weeping story. But now I'm just like, whatever. But like, I don't think I've wept so hard in my life, and that was the movie Children of Men.
Didn't see it.
Bro, so it's filmed kind of like a Blair Witch Trial, where there's somebody that has the camera, and it's got Clive Owen in it, which he's also another reason why I think he's also an amazing actor. So like, pretty much it's a near future. No one can have babies because there was a vaccine that came out and made everybody sterile. That was the plot, and so. In the movie, he comes across a woman who's pregnant, and he's got to help her get out of the zone. I think he's in England. He's got to get her to a port, because there's these people that live in Iceland or Greenland, or I don't think it's Iceland, and that are scientists that can help humanity start making babies again. So he's got to get her there, but he's got to get through war-torn England, pretty much, because everyone hates each other. Everyone's at war. Because there's a lot, like England's trying to kick out a bunch of immigrants out of their country, and there's a lot of strife. And anyway, so he's got to keep this pregnant woman kind of concealed so no one knows she's pregnant.
I think I've seen somebody talk about this.
Yeah, and there's a terrorist group that knows about her and wants her because they want her to use her as leverage.
I think I've seen someone talk about this movie.
So he's got to keep her from not only the terrorists, but he's got to keep her from the government too. Like both sides that are fighting each other, he's got to keep them from both of them. And he's got to get through this. And he doesn't know who to trust, and people betray him.
Did they just knock this movie off recently?
Maybe.
With the robot kid? It sounds like that movie.
It's similar.
It sounds like that.
Yeah, but that movie, you're talking about, that movie was okay.
No, I'm not saying it was. I'm saying it sounds like they knocked off the story a little bit.
Kinda.
It kind of sounds like they
knocked
it off.
Yeah. But see, it wasn't. It was definitely had a different feel because, I can't even remember the storyline now. He was trying to.
That's what the kid's AI, but he doesn't want this group to know about it because they want to steal the AI for their own purposes, and this group wants to kill it because they think it's going to end humanity.
Yeah, but the side that wants the AI is actually a good side that wouldn't hurt the AI, wouldn't hurt the kid. So it's not necessarily the same because they help the kid out. This movie's totally different. The terrorist group wants this chicken to use her as a lever. Like, it's definitely an antagonistic situation. I can't remember the name of that movie that you're talking. It was okay movie.
You know, it's a good movie that kind of reminded me of this. Broad Strokes now, not saying rip it off, but The Book of Eli.
That was a good movie.
Where they're trying to figure out what this cargo he has. The bad guy, Gary Oldman, knows it's the Bible. Yeah. But they don't realize that he's blind.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. He's blind the whole time. He's reading a Braille Bible, and he's committed it to memory. So even when they stole it from him, he's got the whole thing.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was cool, I was actually listening to somebody talk about Dune.
Yeah.
And they're talking about how a lot of it was based off of Muslim beliefs.
Absolutely, yeah. Muad'Dib.
Apparently, so you know what the jinn are? Genies?
Yeah.
Well, apparently the jinn can travel time and change things, like Mandela effect type stuff.
Okay.
So that's why some imams have to memorize the entire Quran.
Oh.
Because the jinn can go back in time and change the text of the book, but they can't change your memory.
Oh, wow.
So they have to memorize the whole book so the
neat.
jinn can't
That's cool.
mess with it.
That's really cool. I mean, not
so
that
that's kind of
but
like a parallel to that. Like he's had to memorize the whole thing because these other forces want to mess with
that's pretty
Bible.
Neat. Yeah, I mean, the book, he was heavily influenced by Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah,
and I think it's.
I haven't read it. But I know.
Well, the book was written by the guy who lived all that shit. He was a MI6 agent.
I heard about that.
Yeah, and back in the I think World War II, World War I, somewhere around there. Yeah, it was like it was back to back or something, but. I have the book. I think it's called The 5 Pillars of Wisdom, 4 Pillars of Wisdom, 6 Pillars of Wisdom. Anyway, something like that. And it's a big, thick book. But dude, man, like, yeah. So that was like it was a big inspiration for that because there was a lot of manipulation of the tribes, people with religion. They were trying to manipulate them into. They really just wanted oil in that area. They just wanted to try to get it to a situation where, they had access to. England had access to oil there, but. Which is like the spice.
Yeah.
So I think he took that story and kind of just, made it sci-fi, really. Anyway.
Oh, you know what other movie is right up there in the top something? No Country for Old Men.
Yeah. That's a good movie. I don't know if I'd put it, my top 10, I don't think I'd put it in top 10.
Be in there.
But it's a good movie.
One of the few things that like triggers me is when I'm talking about some piece of media, fiction, whatever, and I'm like, I love it. I know all the deep, like the behind the scenes, the things, all that, and someone dismisses it for some like little thing. Like so, like we showed Mom No Country for Old Men. It's this deep story about how like the times change, you can get left behind.
Yeah,
how there's evil in the world, all this shit. She's like, there weren't any women in it. No women in it. Trash.
They're actually, well, the guy's wife is in it. So she actually parts off. She's the only one that stands up. She's the only one that stands up to the serial killer and gives him like it doesn't like and just and it's so it's like it's like she's actually
the
wise.
One that actually stood
she's
up.
actually the only one that was wise enough to say something. Her wisdom.
Well, I mean, it was the wrong decision. She got killed.
Well, she still stood up to him, and she departed wisdom. So, there was a woman in it. I mean, just,
She was important.
She was important.
Actually, now that we're thinking about it, the only people who ever stood up to Anton and didn't beg were women. The lady at the motel.
I'm trying to remember that scene.
So, he's trying to kill, Josh Brolin's character's name.
Yeah.
I can't think of it. But he goes in there and says, like, who lives in this apartment or who's staying in this hotel? And she's like, I can't give you no information.
Yeah.
He's like, you're going to tell me where he's at. He's like,
Sir, I can't give you no information.
Insert montage here.
Hell
Insert
no, I
movie
get
clip here.
copyrighted.
No,
I
you can
get
insert
Hell
little
no.
movie clips.
Oh, my,
You
but anyway,
can do that.
she stands up to him. And the only
Yeah.
reason he doesn't kill her is because he hears the toilet flush, so he knows, okay, there's witnesses. So yeah, the only people who actually stood up to him, other than like begging,
Yeah.
were women in that movie. Everybody else was either just trying to kill him,
Yeah.
but
Or they were
didn't
afraid.
succeed,
Yeah.
or they were just begging.
Yeah. Now notice it does say no country for old men.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many layers.
Speaking of female power, the new Star Wars Ocelite, dude, people are hating on that fucking thing. It's literally all women. It's like 95% of the cast is women. But it's like in your face. Like it's just so people don't dislike it because of that. People dislike it because it's just garbage and it's not.
Well,
it's
something
not
I was actually
entertaining.
talking about when we were watching the Pirates movies. I forget which one it was in. I think it was 2. But they have a scene where all the men are being dumb and the woman is the only one being smart.
Yeah.
But it doesn't come off as like cringy and virtue signaling because it's written properly. She has a reason that she's being smart, and the 3 guys have a reason they're being driven
exactly.
to be dumb for their goals.
and you never.
So you can do that.
Yeah.
As long as it's written.
Yeah. It's just well. Here's the problem. It has nothing to do with. It just happens to be ultra feminism. No matter what theology or philosophical principle you're trying to convey in a story, if you come off preachy, no matter what that tenet is, nobody likes it.
No.
It doesn't matter if it's a Christian ideology. It doesn't matter if it's Judeo, whatever. If you're trying to be, a political party, it doesn't matter what it is. If it comes off preachy and sterile, people are just going to be like,
Well,
even if they agree with you, it's going to be like, oh.
Yeah.
That's why Christian movies are bad.
If you
That's
want
why-
to have a message, it's fine, but that's the only thing you're doing. It's obvious that it's not a good piece of whatever it is.
Right. So the best forms of media that people enjoy are, I think that media that leaves you questions. Like, okay, so the director's not necessarily, they're conveying, like, okay, let's take Apocalypse Now, for instance. Actually, I've been doing some research on, that's another great movie. I can't believe that didn't come up. Because the writer of the movie, I didn't know this, he wrote Conan.
Oh, yeah?
He wrote Conan, and he directed Conan.
Oh,
He
really?
directed Conan, the guy who wrote Apocalypse
Oh, he wrote
Now.
the movie?
He wrote the script.
Okay.
Dude, I didn't know that.
I thought you were talking about the guy who wrote the books.
No.
The
So
who wrote
no,
the movie.
Conrad, the guy who wrote, oh God, he didn't write Apocalypse. No, there was inspired by a book.
Okay.
Oh, my brain is fucked. Oh my God, I feel so stupid not remembering this.
It's all right.
Heart of Darkness.
Oh, okay.
Heart of Darkness.
And that was the book that movie
you're right.
Apocalypse Now.
Yes,
Okay.
and that was, about colonialism and the journey down the river and all that crazy shit. So, but the guy who wrote the script, can't remember his name, but he directed Conan. And that's why all the other Conan movies felt stale, because it didn't have that philosophical backbone. There was Nietzsche quotes all over Conan, and it just had a feel to the movie. Anyway, he also did Red Dawn.
Oh, I didn't realize that either.
Yeah, that was Patrick Swayze. Young Patrick Swayze in that movie. Anyway, so,
Bro, Full Metal Jacket is a good one.
well,
I like that
it's
movie.
okay.
What's your
I like
major
Apocalypse Now
malfunction?
better. I know that Kubrick is, I like Kubrick, but I think Kubrick's best movie was.
I think so. In my mental catalog, there's movies I saw way before I should have seen them for more than one reason, and so I don't quite remember them that well. So I saw Full Metal Jacket way more recently when I had an adult brain.
Right.
But I think I saw Apocalypse Now. I can barely I kind of remember
Yeah.
it, but it's just kind of I remember seeing it. But Full Metal Jacket I've seen within the past few years. So, man.
Yeah. I didn't know this, but I did a little I think I showed you that guy on YouTube. I can't remember his name, but he does a lot of deep dives into these movies, especially Kubrick movies, and how. In The Shining, he talks about how the character, Jack Nicholson's character, was dealing with he was trying to hide he was homosexual.
Yeah.
Have you heard that? Because
They talked about it in the documentary Room 237 or 217.
Right, I think
or
that
whatever.
maybe we watched the
He's
same
holding
thing.
a Playgirl magazine.
Yeah.
Just Well, he must not be that closeted if he's looking at a playground. in the lobby.
But it was the funny thing was, it also they were trying to say it allured to he was making pedophile acts against his son.
that scene where he's with the kid.
Yeah, and it's got the moon rocket going to his face and stuff. But everyone was like, well, that's probably because the moon landing was fake. And I want to rewatch. Oh my god, my brain does not work right now. The black and white movie he made about the nuclear.
Didn't see it.
Dr. Strangelove.
Didn't see it.
That's a movie I want to see really bad.
Didn't see it.
2000. Oh, they say in 2001 that the monolith
Yeah.
was really the TV. There's supposed to be the
TV screen?
the screen, the actually movie screen that you're watching the movie from. That's why he's in the room and he's looking at you. He's touching it and he's looking at you. So it's like breaking the fourth wall.
Does he look directly into the camera?
Well, yeah, there's in that last scene where it's all trippy and he's in that room.
Yeah. Where the colors like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he's trying to break the fourth wall, but in a sort of existential, transcendental kind of way, where he's touching the monolith and he's looking, and it's supposed to be like his world. He is transcending, and then you have the baby, the space baby.
Yeah. One thing that. So a lot of people just see it as like brain dead, stupid shit. I think one of the reasons why I really like watching professional wrestling and reality TV is because I am fascinated by that split between like reality and fiction.
Okay. Oh, like okay.
So like I love like taking something in and like looking at the story they're trying to present.
Right.
But then it's so obviously not real that you're also seeing the behind the scenes of the fiction at the same time.
Right.
You're seeing the characters or the actors develop the characters in live space.
That's why a movie about making a movie is cool. Like Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, I love learning about like the tricks they use.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like what happens. So like, do you know about the Montreal screw job?
No.
Okay.
Sounds
Back
like a
in the
Dubai
day-
porta potty, but
No. So back in the day, there were these two professional wrestlers. One's called Shawn Michaels, and those guys' name was
Michael Shawn.
Bret Hart.
Okay.
Bret the Hitman Hart. Bret was trying to leave WWE. He was trying to leave, and he was going to go to WCW. But the problem was he had the belt.
Okay.
And they don't want the belt going to a rival promotion.
Okay.
Right? So
Well,
he had
he's
to
gotta
drop
lose
the
it.
belt.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So they had this match between him and Shawn Michaels. And they were doing their thing, running the match, and then Vince decided he was done with it. So,
In the middle of the match?
yeah, so Shawn Michaels was trying to pin Bret, and he didn't quite pin him, but Vince told the ref to call the match right there. Okay, even though they weren't done doing their thing, telling their story, they weren't done yet. So he called it unfairly. Right?
But
He didn't
why?
have his
Why
shoulders
was he
down.
done with it though? I guess he
He
wanted.
just wanted to end it. He didn't want to let him have the last say. There was bad blood between him and Vince, so he didn't.
But
let
he's
him
going to leave
keep
the
working.
company though.
Yeah.
So he has to get rid of the.
He had to get rid of it. But the thing is, like, he didn't get to go out on his terms
Oh.
because they hadn't made the decision yet that the match was over. He didn't let the 3 count happen. He wasn't done doing his thing, but he called it. So within the lore, that was just an unfair call.
Yeah.
Within the reality, it was, I'm not letting you finish your performance.
Yeah.
I'm not letting. And in the lore, it was a bullshit call from the ref, right?
Yeah.
And so they lose their mind. They're pissed off. Brett spits in Vince McMahon's fucking face on live TV. Hawks a loogie
Is
in
that
Vince
real?
McMahon's face. Yeah, it splashes him in the face.
Holy shit.
And then the two wrestlers didn't talk to each other for years. Recently, now they're all old. They made up. And
Yeah.
they did like a thing on TV about it.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's like that's the other fascinating thing. In the lore,
Yeah.
he got screwed in this way, and in the real life, he's like, yeah, I'm not letting you have.
So
your
it's
moment.
kind of like a play that.
It's like a live.
It plays
play
on itself.
that people can like fuck with.
Yeah.
And because of their commitment to kayfabe,
Yeah.
being
Right.
real.
Mhm.
So like it just happened recently with who was it? It was Randy Orton and Gunther, the Ring General.
Mhm.
Randy Orton was supposed to win. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
but Gunther had him held down, and to the ref, it looked like Orton was pinned.
Mm-hmm.
So even though that's not how the story is supposed to go, that's what he thought was happening. So he can't just say, "Oh, I'm not calling it," because that's not how the story is supposed to go. He has to call what he thinks he saw.
Yeah.
So now they have to change how like the deals of who's going to be getting this screen time and shit. So yeah, it's like if you're watching a play and someone has an incentive to change who wins. Like,
Wow.
you know. So I do like that.
I think that. Yeah.
Like imagine that you're watching a play and it's like, well, shit, if I die, I'm not going to be able to be in the next episode. So I'm not going to die.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fall over dead. I'm going to stay alive, you know.
There's this movie that I've been watching that's a famous Russian movie by a famous Russian director who actually died because he made this movie. And I didn't know this, but the movie is a huge inspiration to a lot of, like, Ridley Scott and a lot of different directors. Even Stanley Kubrick was inspired by this guy. They were kind of
How
rivals
old
in
is
a
this
way.
movie?
It was made in the 70s. So the movie's called Stalker.
That's what the game is based off of, the Stalker games.
Metro 20, whatever, that game.
Well, I think that was inspired by, but there was a series of Stalker games, and then Metro was inspired by that. Or it might be in the same universe.
I
I'm
don't
not
know.
sure.
I never played the game Stalker, but let me just tell you the thing. Okay, in the Stalker, the movie, this is based off a book called
Yes.
Roadside Picnic.
Yep.
Okay, so when he filmed this, he pretty much filmed it in Chernobyl,
Yeah.
and like the actors died like years later and
Radiation,
shit. Fucking crazy.
I heard about that.
But the movie and the book is about, so there's a zone that the government protects. And in this zone, there's a special room where the stalker knows about. And people that want to go there, he shepherds them there, and they make a wish and they can become rich or whatever, like anything, their wildest dreams and stuff. So apparently, like a lot of people, like, I don't know, I haven't got through it because I fell asleep, I was really tired. It's a very slow, absorbing movie, but I can see the imagery and the acting and all this. I can see how it inspired a lot of different directors.
Do you know why the book was called Roadside Picnic?
I heard it was because in the book it was supposed to be an alien presence, like a meteorite showed up, or it could have been, they're not really specific about it in the book, but a meteorite or an alien landing. And I heard that the reason why, I haven't read the book, but the reason why they called it that is because Earth is supposed to be like this, like a place where just like where aliens can come by and they don't even care about it.
Yeah.
Like this is where they stop to do a picnic.
That's
like,
what I had heard.
Yeah.
We're kind of out of the parallels. If you have a picnic and you leave pieces of food,
Yeah.
the little ants are like, holy shit, there's
Yeah.
miles of
Yeah.
food.
Right.
But to them, it's just like,
Yeah.
you know, like
That's-
you just threw away.
right.
That's what I had heard.
Yeah. That's also what I heard too. It's like insignificant.
But to us, it's like, oh, there's this crazy alien artifact that can do all this. But then it's like,
Yeah.
fuck it. You know?
Yeah.
Flicking cigarette butt out the window. Yeah, to us.
So apparently the book, there's this guy on YouTube I watch. It's called Book Build, and he reads a lot of vintage sci-fi books. Reads a lot of some horror and some fantasy, but mostly sci-fi. And it's one of his top books he's ever read, among other ones too. But he makes a living off of that shit, dude. He's got a Patreon where he goes in depth about all these books. So there's a demand for people like.
That's what I'm trying to learn how to do
Book
shit now.
reviews.
You know, I want to make a Patreon, a YouTube
Yeah,
channel, and
some kind of shit,
Make
yeah.
some money, bro.
Something, I mean, yeah, you start feeling around, you'll stumble on
I'm
something.
trying to learn how to edit and fuck around with Premiere Pro.
Yeah.
Spend all that damn money on all the Adobe shit. Might as well use it.
How much do you spend a month on that?
I think it's like 45. I get all of it.
Yeah.
I get After Effects, Premiere, Photoshop, their animation thing, whatever
Wow.
that is, their like vector saw. I get all of it.
Damn.
The only thing I'm a little salty about, and I think I'm going to cancel, is their stock library. Because half of it's AI generated pictures.
Where you can just find that
So
shit.
why don't I just go I
Yeah.
generate the pictures?
Well, how much
myself?
money will you save if you.
I pay like $20-something a month for their stock librry.
Oh, yeah, you save 20
And it's
bucks
like
a
I
month.
can just AI generate shit myself if I
Yeah.
wanted to use AI
Yeah.
generated shit in my Photoshop projects.
Mhm.
So I made those It's Always Sunny magic cards, just
Yeah.
fucking around Photoshop.
Yeah, that was, dude, those magic cards you made were fucking good.
And the rest of the card, I didn't do that in Photoshop. I just have a thing. It's called Magic Set Editor, and you can just make the cards. And I just put my art in it.
Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
Bro, I showed some to the people at the store. People like lose it. Seeing Frank Reynolds with, I think I have the Sword of Ice and Fire, or whatever it is, in his hands. Yeah.
How did you do that?
What do you mean?
Like, I put that sword in his hand and shit.
I took the image of the card, because you can get high quality scans of the cards on Scryfall, any card. I just cut it out.
Okay.
Pasted it over, put a mask over where his hand is so it looks like he's holding it. And I added like lighting on his arm. And I put some other random artifacts, like the trash around him, like different, I forget which cards, but different artifact cards, famous artifact cards. The lightning greaves are laying in the trash beside him.
Oh, shit.
You gotta watch that show, bro. It's so funny.
It's every
so
scene
funny.
I've seen is hilarious. I want to see that Ozempic
the
South Park episode. I'm glad I don't live in Vegas anymore, because that place is on the edge now. Like, if it was like after COVID, that place is on the edge now, man. It's also a lot more expensive now. Like, before, the Strip was expensive, but then like right off the Strip, you had all these bars and all these restaurants that were cheap, good food. Now everything just so expensive now. You can't, like, you can get a rum and coke at a karaoke bar off the Strip for normal price, like, like $8 or something like that. Now it's like 15. Like, it's fucking nuts, man. And that's when I went back there a couple years ago. When I went there to visit, I'm like, fuck this. Like, this is a joke. Yeah, we definitely need to do like a mystery science thing. Old fucking movie. Old samurai movies.
Yeah.
They're fucking cool.
I'd rather just make a video, like just talking about a movie after the fact.
Fair enough.
I think that would be better.
I don't get that guy's feet anymore. This guy, Canadian guy, that reviewed all these dumb B-budget movies and made fun of them. It was so funny. That's how I learned about Samurai Cop. But there's so many other movies like that. And this guy, he's so funny. Making fun of him. So many like Star Wars spin-offs. And he actually found a movie that came out before Star Wars that actually he was like, whoa, did Star Wars rip this movie off? Like, I can't remember what movie it was. But I was like, wait a second. I was like, whoa.
Was it Dune?
No, because Dune came after Star Wars. No.
I know, but for some reason I've been hearing this conversation from people saying Star Wars ripped off Dune.
No. You know what Star Wars did rip off? A lot of the old heavy metal comics. There's this comic. The movie came out like a couple years ago. Valerian.
Yeah.
Okay. That was an old French comic. Okay. And there's a lot of scenes in there that Star Wars did rip off. And there's a lot, and so like, okay, so Mobius, he ripped off, like, George Lucas took inspiration from Mobius. That was that you know who Mobius is? Yeah. Which Mobius is amazing. Actually, that new game that I showed you, that showed Devontae, Concord, if you look at the character design, all that's Mobius inspired. That's another reason why I like the game. Very heavily Mobius inspired, because you have those, like, the helmets that are dome-shaped, and that's very Mobius. I think they did a great job with the game, the art directing in that game. Anyway, I forgot where I was going with this. Yeah, Star Wars took a lot. So there's a scene in Valerian where they have a guy in the carbonite, like Han Solo got sucked in the carbonite.
Yeah.
He used that straight from that comic book. And there's a couple other things that were from the comic book. I mean, getting inspired is one thing, you know. I mean, everyone does that. Yeah, it was like, it's not a downright copy, but you know. But he also took inspiration from a Japanese cinema. There's a movie called the Akira Kurosawa movie the guy who directed Seven Samurai, something. It's called The Bride or Princess. It's called.
Princess Bride.
No, not Princess Bride. No, it's called. It's a black and white samurai movie. It's called. Princess something, I can't remember, but it's about about a group of guys who rescue a princess from a fortress. What is Star Wars 1?
Yeah.
She gets captured and she has to be rescued. And you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, what is that damn movie? I can't remember anything right now. It's something princess, and that plot was heavily lifted from that. So he definitely took a lot of bits and pieces and stuff. Dude, AI is getting so scary now with like mimicking people, and we're not gonna know what the fuck reality is anymore, man. Maybe that's a good thing. It'll undermine centralized authority, which might be a good thing. You're gonna have to go outside and see what the fuck is real anymore. You know what I'm saying? But no, it was a pretty exciting moment to see Starship make it to orbit, man. Yeah. The largest rocket humanity's ever flown has made it to orbit. Not only in it splashed down the way they wanted it to splash down. It actually splashed because they wanted to land it vertically, and it splashed down vertically. It hit the water like that, which is amazing. And the whole when it was going to orbit, one of the engines didn't work. Now there's 33 engines on the first stage, so one of them not working. Yeah, not a big deal. But that's amazing how that thing still functioned with one engine not working. That's crazy. Yeah. And then when it came through orbit, one of the wings, I say wings, but it's kind of like a flap. It looked like a wing, but it's to slow it down in the atmosphere, almost ripped off. It almost melted. And it still was able to function. Like, that's crazy, dude. Yeah. That thing is fucking, it's pretty awesome. So that's what they're gonna. So they have these big. So since the Starship is so huge, because they've got other rockets, like the Falcon Heavy can just land up by itself with legs. It tracks these legs, and it just lands, right? But since this is so big, they have this big. They call it Mechazilla. It's this huge tower that will, with these arms that will grab the rocket. So it's going to float kind of in the air, and it's going to grab it. Bro, that's going to be insane to watch. But their test that they did was good enough to where they're going to try it next. That's crazy to think about, bro. That is nuts. And we'll be able to make it to moon again. Yeah. It's going to be a while. Even though Mars is, the goal, but it's going to be a while because we're going to have to figure out nuclear fission chemical propulsion, which we've already figured out. We can do it, but we just got to get the green light from the government to make a safe nuclear fission thermal rocket engine. And you'd have to build it. More than likely, they'd build it in space, kind of like a sort of planet-to-planet transfer, kind of that just stays in orbit and just moves from orbit to orbit, never landing. You know what I mean? So you would take a rocket to the ship, the system-to-system transfer
docking station.
Yeah,
and that just gets you from Earth to ship.
Yeah,
and that ship gets you planet to planet.
Right. Yeah. Apparently, the Artemis mission, we're supposed to be back on the moon sometime in a couple of years. Thanks, Elon Musk. Thanks a lot. Nobody fucking believed in SpaceX, man. None of the astronauts, the NASA were like, no, private sector shouldn't have access to rockets and all this bullshit. Well, guess what? That's pretty much the semi-truck to space. Yeah. Because it's going to open up privatized, commercialized space stations, and they can start printing. They can't do this on Earth because it's too difficult. But they can print human organs or grow them.
Oh yeah.
Because in 0G, so there's manufacturing capabilities in 0G that you can do, you can't do on Earth. So it's going to open up a whole new industry. Just having like a little commercial station at like a factory. That's going to be pretty amazing. Even though I think there's a secret space program with more advanced shit than that, but it's good to know that we have that shit. Still, I got the tears and the goosebumps when I saw Starship get to orbit.
Yeah.
It really did, man. It was an amazing moment. Seeing all those people cheer, you know, because it's a monumental human moment, man. It's huge. It's almost, I mean, like almost like the moon landing, if it ever happened, you know. But the symbol of the moon landing is just as important, you know.
But they had a guy on Rogan recently. He's one of the main like moon landing didn't happen guys. He had him on recently.
They're pretty. I mean, yeah. They were saying there's this James Bond movie called Moonraker, and they made fun of it. Like in the movie Moonraker, James Bond walks on the set,
Oh.
and it's moon landing.
No, they did that in Minions.
Yeah.
Remember we watched that
Really?
Minions
Really?
movie in the theaters together?
No, did we?
We
I thought it
went
was
and
with
watched
my
a
mom.
Minions movie together in theaters,
When
and they had a
was that?
scene where the Minions are walking on the moon and the astronauts are there, and then the camera cuts and they're on a set.
Oh wow.
Because they come to America. That's when they came to America.
Yeah.
We watched it at that movie theater right next to the gym.
Damn.
It was years ago.
It must have been. You must have been young then.
I wasn't that. I was like maybe 15.
Oh.
We just went to see it. It looked fun.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
Damn, I don't remember that. Shit. I know I took my mom to a Minions movie because she likes the Minions.
Minions. It was funny. There was a meme going around because in that movie they show that they just kind of work for whoever's evil or in power or whatever.
Mhm.
So they were working for like the T-Rex. They were working for Dracula. They worked for Napoleon. Whatever, you know, all these people. And so someone put out a meme. They're like, never ask a minion what they were doing between 1935 and 1945. Never ask them.
You don't want to know.
You don't want to know what they were doing.
Maybe they got off easily and worked for Mussolini. I need to get some water, man.
You want to give me a water as well, man?
Sure.
Give me a water, man.
You're my Bobby.
Ooh. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Gotta have water.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Water's good for you.
Oh, that's good.
Yippers.
Yeah.
Maybe we can write a story.
Yeah.
Maybe I can. Maybe I was. You know. Maybe I just need to buy a camera, like a decent one. Like I know there's decent Canons you can buy for like $500.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. Start filming shit. I don't know what, but
Use your phone.
yeah.
Instead of buying an expensive camera, just buy a better phone. Really expensive camera on it.
Stuff good. Just use Adobe and.
I mean, that thing can film in 4K. I don't have it set to that, but that thing can film in 4K.
Oh, another movie that I fucking think is amazing and good based on a book. The Hunt for Red October.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that movie?
I saw it like a long time ago.
It's an awesome movie, dude.
Is it?
It's clever as fuck, dude. It's so good. I actually got the book and I haven't read it yet, but Tom Clancy, I mean, you know, I think it's his best book. It's actually his breakout book. But yeah, man, that's a great movie, dude. I mean, it's got James Earl Jones in it. You know, it's got some good actors. It's got fucking Sean Connery in it. I mean,
The Rock. That's another great movie.
that's a good
The
movie.
Rock.
Sean Connery.
Yeah. Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
We didn't mention any Nick Cage movies. Yeah. National Treasure.
Well, hell, if we're talking about Nick Cage movies that I would actually consider like amazing,
Yeah.
Mandy.
I think it's good.
Mandy.
I don't think it's amazing. I don't think it's
I can't
it
get
doesn't it
enough.
doesn't make the amazing.
It does for me.
I think it was really good. Like I said, I've already, like I told you what I didn't like about it, and it has nothing to do with. I just thought that it should be switched around. I think he should have been killing the cosmic beings last, not the. You know, I don't know. Not that it's kind of no here nor there, but I do like. It was a deep movie, and it was a good movie. Yeah. Another great movie that was also derived from a book that's also amazing is The Man in the Iron Mask.
Oh, yeah.
But you know what I'm talking about there, right? Alexander Dumas, the guy who wrote Three Musketeers,
No clue.
Count of Monte Cristo, which is actually going to be a movie soon. Alexander Dumas was a French novelist. Kind of, I don't know if it was during or kind of right after the Napoleon era. And yeah, he wrote adventure stories. Three Musketeers, Man in the Iron Mask, Count of Monte Cristo. Actually, the Count of Monte Cristo, he wrote about his dad. And his dad was this fucking badass soldier who was half black in the French army, and Napoleon didn't like him. So after the war was over or something, he like, I don't know, after a certain couple battles, he kind of like tried to get rid of him or something. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what he was discriminated against. But his story was amazing. Totally amazing. The guy was an ultimate badass, like Rambo back in the fucking Victorian era, like like Victorian era Rambo. Anyway. But yeah, Alexander Dumas is an amazing story writer. Swashbuckling adventure stories. I need to read Frankenstein.
I read it.
I need to read it.
Pretty good. I like it.
I need to read that movie or that book.
It's pretty cool. When you read it, you'll be like, why the fuck does Frankenstein look like he does in the movies?
Yeah,
What the fuck is that
that's
about?
what I heard about. Yeah, I know.
Like, what?
I think there was a movie they tried to do a depiction, like a reenactment, like close to the book. They called it Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, and I can't remember who did it or whatever. It came out like in the late '90s or something, maybe early 2000s. I can't remember, but the Frankenstein just had like a scar on his face. You know, it was like not a lot, just kind of, yeah. So that was kind of cool. I actually ran into a lot of interesting, different little celebrities at the casino. Like the guy who managed Floyd Mayweather used to play at my casino a lot.
Oh, really?
He was kind of a dick. I mean, he was all right, but he would like when they lose a big hand, they look at you and go, really? Like it's my fault. Like, dude, give me a break. Like, really, man? Come on, man. Like, stop gambling your life away, dude. It's not my fault. Really?
That fucking game, dude. Delatro.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking about
You like it,
I love
man.
that game, man.
It was cool.
You should have shown me a video instead of just telling me about it.
I told you about it, man.
Well, yeah, but you said, "Oh, there's this poker game." And I just.
Yeah, but I also
glazed over,
explained
bro.
it. I also explained
But the
it.
second you say poker game, I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fucking out, dog." I'm not even fucking on the plane. I'm zoning out.
Now it's like a huge cultural phenomenon now.
Yeah. They'd be like solving they're like cracking the code, kind of the best methods to fucking
Enter the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
Penetrate the zeitgeist, man.
I like the aesthetic of it too, because it looks like you're sitting at like a poker machine.
Yeah.
Like in a casino.
Like a
it looks
casino,
like
yeah.
like a game machine in
Yeah.
a casino, you know.
They
You see the
almost-
old people going like this for hours and hours.
Yep, I
putting
say, yep.
shit into it.
Absolutely. Sell it every day in the casino. When did you see that?
What?
When were you exposed to gambling and shit?
Oh, just like videos of it.
Oh, okay. But
And I've seen like at Dave and Buster's, they have like slot looking machines. I've seen
Oh.
videos of them. I've never been to a casino, but I've
Yeah.
not seen that shit.
I was like, when's the last time you went to a casino? Oh, man. Not that you're missing out on anything.
I am a sucker for gambling anyway. I love the risky plays and shit. That's why I like red magic. You know. And then when I'm playing Bellaccio, I'm like, well, I guess I'm discarding my whole hand so I can try to get a fucking straight flush.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
There was one, did you ever come across the boss blind where it says you can only play one hand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I'm like, well, all right, I'm discarding until I get that straight flush, baby.
What the fuck?
I lost. I had to read that as starting
And I love how the Joker at the end says, like, you fucking suck. Like,
Yeah, some goofy thing. There's the one I got was like, he's I'm a clown. What's your excuse?
yeah. Holy shit. Like sometimes that game comes around and it just breaks the zeitgeist.
I
Like
love
Manor
it.
Lords. That was a city builder. That was a #1 sold game on Steam this year so far.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah. One fucking guy, maybe two, I don't know. Super small developer group. Just like there's a game coming out called Falling Frontier. It's like a 4X strategy game. God, when is that game gonna come out? Is it by one developer? But it looks so good. I guess it's not gonna come out till next year, but they've been talking about it for years. That's gonna be another game when it comes out. People are gonna play the shit out of. Because people have been waiting for that game for a long time. Mm-hmm. I thought I was gonna get into X Defiant, but I don't know what it is about that game. I'm just not. Like, okay, it's fun, it's cool. Kind of miss Overwatch now. The only reason why I don't play it is because the stupid rank system's fucked. It's gotten better. It has gotten better. But no. No, thank you. And the final shape came out for Destiny, and I guess it was semi-successful. And everyone's waiting on their new game, Marathon, which it looks like they're going to change it into a hero extraction shooter.
Yeah.
Oh shit, you're getting
Low power mode.
All right,
I guess we'll cut it out here in a minute.
Yeah. They're going to turn like you ever heard of a game called Hunt? Actually, this aesthetics you would like.
Survivor Showdown. Yeah, I've heard of it.
Because it looks like aesthetics that you might like, of a horror, bayou kind of look.
Yeah.
That's technically a hero extraction shooter, because you pick your hero and you hire them and stuff. So I think that's what they're gonna do with Marathon, which honestly I just want a good game. I mean, insofar, I mean we have no gameplay yet, but looks like it's gonna be good. But Bungie's going through a whole overhaul because their the expansion of Destiny 2 before the final shape was so shitty. Everyone fucking hated it.
Yeah.
And so PlayStation, Sony bought Bungie, or they're under their wing or something like that. And so they've been telling them, look, man, you guys got to shape up, or we're gonna totally tell you what to do. Like, you're gonna have to fix this. So they've been working on it. Like ever since then, they've revamped multiplayer. They put more stuff in the game. Final shape is not perfect, but it's better. So seems like it got good, decent reviews. I don't think it did better than, I guess it was Beyond Light, or I don't know what the last expansion was, but I think it did. I think it's doing better than that. So, anyway, I just hope they don't screw the pooch on this marathon game, because I love the gun. I think now that I've played a lot of different games, first-person shooter games, I really think Destiny, not necessarily the best shooter game, but it has the best gunplay, and for me, it has the best parkour, like just moving around and climbing shit, and just movement and gunplay. I think it's the best, man. And people who play Destiny will say that too, because that's why they play Destiny. But like the Call of Duty games, like the gunplay, I mean, yes, it's a very popular franchise. Everybody loves it. Comparatively to other games, it's not that good. I mean, there's other games that are better. This is even tougher, even though like Overwatch only has some people that use like guns, you know, and there's like, you know, you got Reinhardt with a hammer and you got melee weapons and stuff, but I think the Finals is better gunplay than fucking any Call of Duty game. I don't know what it is. Swallowed a bug or something.
Man.
Yikes.
All right. I guess I'll about do it for this.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Deuces.
Deuces.